Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and finally it is that time for my top 10, my personal top 10 of 2023. I did a midway through 2023 video back during the summer, and unfortunately some of the titles that were in my top 10 at that time have been bumped out from my final list of the year. I have it written all down here so I can remember, and let's get started right away. Now, number 10, Pope's Exorcist. Russell Crowe, I thought this film was fantastic. He did a great job in this film. I had so much fun with this film, and I definitely could not leave this off of my top 10. So at number 10, Pope's Exorcist. Number 9, John Wick Chapter 4. Now, this one was a little bit higher up on my list earlier in the year, but it did fall down after a couple, another viewing or two of the film. I had to drop this one down just a little bit. I still really like it, but it didn't hit me as much as it did the first time when I watched it. So number 9, John Wick Chapter 4. Number 8, Scream 6. Taking Ghostface to New York was probably the right idea for this franchise. I like the setting. I just love how they incorporated Ghostface into the big city. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I think the kills were definitely a little bit more gruesome than what we'd seen in previous films. And I think it worked really, really well for this franchise. Number 7, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Another one that dropped down the list for my final picks of the year. But Guardians 3, it was a solid send-off, for this franchise. It was not my favorite of the franchise, but still, I thought it was a pretty solid send-off for these original cast members. Number 6, Super Mario Brothers movie. I had so much fun. Illumination Studios did I think the animation in this one looks better than what they did with Despicable Me or even with Minions. I think they were on point with this one, and the CGI is the best that I've seen Illumination do at all, period. And Super Mario Brothers movie is a fantastic film for all ages. So definitely check out that one if you have not seen it yet. Number 5, The Nun 2. Finally had a chance to watch this one the other day, and I'm glad I did because it was able to make my final list of the year. I've heard so many people knock this one, saying it's just too much action. It's just, they do too much. They go a little bit with the superhero route too much with the nun in this one. I disagree. I can see that there are some elements that may be a little bit more over the top, but still, I had a lot of fun, and that's really the theme with this list, is having a lot of fun, and that is what I did with The Nun 2. I think it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more than the first Nun. So, yeah, you can't always go by what the critics say. Judge it by yourself. Go with your own personal opinion on what you feel about these films. Number 4, The Exorcist Believer. This was one that I had a chance to see with my girlfriend in Salem, of all places to see in Salem back in October in an old movie theater. And I think that just added to the atmosphere. It just added to just how much I enjoyed this film, how much she enjoyed this film as well. And even watching it a second time, enjoyed it just as much as the first time. Another film that got a lot of, got panned by critics. Again, go with your own personal opinion. Don't worry about what everybody else says. Judge it by yourself, for yourself, and just take it for what it is. And I think that this is a solid film. I really do. I think the two girls who get possessed in the film, are like lead actresses basically in the film. They do a fantastic job. They are really, really believable as being possessed. And again, they just do a fantastic, fantastic job. I really enjoyed this one a lot. Number 3. Evil Dead Rise. Holy crap. I loved Evil Dead Rise. I think this is the way to go with this franchise. It's a different take on this one, taking it out of the woods, basically, for this one, and it worked. Every element of this film worked for me. The kills are brutal. Absolutely brutal. This one, I can't say enough about it. If you haven't seen this one and you're a horror fan, what are you doing? Go check out Evil Dead Rise. I don't want to spoil too many things about it, but there are some great acting performances in this one. And there's one in particular that stands out to me. And when you watch it, you'll know exactly which one I am talking about, because there is no denying just how great of a performance this is in that film. Now, we're up to the top 2 films of the year. Now, when I did my halfway through the year, there was one film that was coming out in July that, was a contender possibly. It was probably going to be a contender to make my top spot of the year. And you know which film I'm talking about. One that has this guy you might have heard of. His name's Tom Cruise. Yeah, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 did not make my top spot. It came in at number 2 for the year. I was surprised. I enjoyed this one a lot. There wasn't a whole lot that I would have changed in this film. Maybe one thing in particular that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I understand why it had to be done in order to progress the story. But overall, I thought this was, every Mission Impossible film has been great. They seem to just keep going up and up and up for me every single time. And this was no difference. I can't wait for part 2 to come out. I thought this was an awesome, awesome film from start to finish. Number 1, Transformers Rise of the Beast. Loved this so much, had to see it twice in theaters. And of course, it hit me even more because I got to see this with my daughter. My daughter's a big fan of Bumblebee. And getting to see this in the theater with her just made it all that much more special for me. And there's a scene, if you've seen the film already, there is a scene when a particular character comes back towards the end of the film, and it really made a big old smile on this face, and it made her very happy too. So Transformers Rise of the Beast, number 1 for 2023. Like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I will catch you in another episode. Take care.